You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, bar, arcade, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 14 of MC True Long Island Story. I am your host, the internet champion, always ready, Matt Cardona, and I'm always ready for a PBR Stronger Seltzer. However, I don't have the lime today. I got Wild Berry. Ran out of that lime.
Oh, how did you run out? Really?
Drinking it, baby.
Well, let me tell you. Full disclosure, guys. It is 1:51. So, I grabbed the coffee.
Oh, there you go, baby.
So
that HARD coffee.
This is the new one. This is salted caramel.
Oh, okay.
So, very good. Got tons of those. I'm also here, producer of the show, Mark Sterling Esquire. Thanks for having me. Also, full disclosure, we are recording this one day after we recorded last week's episode, 2 weeks in advance, because Broski's currently living it up in Hawaii.
That's right. My first time in the Hawaiian sun, baby. I'm getting laid. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I don't have much follow-up, but I do have a couple things. One, I did find out in my research, last week's episode came out on the 13th.
Yep.
The 13th was actually Friday. So when we talked about you couldn't get it up, sorry, that's why we have Blue Chew. When we talked about you couldn't get the show up, it should have come out on the 12th, but it actually came out on the 13th. So you were
it came out a day late.
You were a day late.
So there was a struggle with that Wi-Fi.
Yes, for sure.
A couple things I want to plug first.
Yep.
Memorial Day, freethenarrator.com, me versus EC3. It's going to be a fight. It's not going to be a wrestling match. EC3 has been harassing me for months, crashing our live podcast, sending letters to my house, being weird, DMing me, tweeting me. It all comes to an end. Memorial Day, freethenarrator.com. Also, Matt Cardona, merch.com. We have so much merch, including there are just a few left. Actually, by the time this airs, this might be sold out.
Right.
The internet title face mask. We have the internet title keychain. We have the old school Zack Ryder Broski sunglasses, which I will autograph, and retro figures, Mattel Retro, signed as Zack Ryder. I have a rule, unless it's by mistake, and I do mess up a lot, Zack Ryder merch, I will sign as Zack. Matt Cardona merch, I will sign as Matt.
Right, of course.
So, I don't like mixing and matching. I don't like signing Zack Ryder on a Matt Cardona photo or vice versa. Right. So those are my rules. You need some rules.
Yeah. You have MC on your gear, it's not going to be Zack Ryder.
Right.
All right. Well, the big follow-up, I think that we can sort of just jump right into it. The big follow-up for this week is last week, the Broski of the Week were the guys that sang. What is the name of that song officially?
I think Just Take Care.
Just Take Care. The guys that sang the famous Just Take Care song, basically our theme
song.
Luke and Duane. They were Broski of the Week. We said we're going to talk all about that song this week because we're going to have them on. So I think we should just go to it right now, right? Let's talk to these guys. We had a great chat.
Okay, Just Take Care, Spike Your Hair, the Broski of the Week song.
Okay,
available on iTunes, guys, and they drop a little piece of info for you guys. And this was a fun interview. It was great catching up with these guys because full disclosure, we had WWE's biggest fan. We're gonna have Steve Zitkos. We're gonna have other guys who helped, Luke and Duane as well.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw them face to face, talked to them face to face.
They're funny guys.
Right, but everything's through DM, email.
Yeah.
And there was no Zoom. I guess there was Skype 10 years ago.
Right, but it wasn't easy.
But I wasn't Skyping with them to, talk about the song.
Yeah. I feel like a year ago it would have been even harder. Now that through COVID we are so professional meeting people on Zoom, it's so easy.
No, it's we've created sets.
Yeah, exactly.
In our house.
Exactly.
So let's go to that interview now or after a little word from our sponsor.
Exactly. You know.
That's right. PBR, cheers. The Major Pod Network has a new tag team partner. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Everybody needs some liquid courage to make their own weekly purchases. Scratch that figure itch and scratch that PBR itch.
Get your PBR beer, get your PBR hard coffee, and get your PBR stronger seltzer.
8%? If you're listening to this, you're already a major mark. Now it's time to become a major PBR mark.
Use the hashtag MajorPBR and post your pictures and videos of you major marking out.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and the Major Pod Network, the new tag team champions of the world.
Of the world!
But we're definitely not getting any new figures from Mattel. All right, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for, well, at least Mark and I have been waiting for a while.
Hell yeah.
They were co-broskies of the week. I'll ask a question about that. Luke and Duane, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's I'm pretty sure are we the first co-broskies of the week now? Do we get a prize?
Here's my question. Now, I just said you were the broski of the week. I never really said who is the broski of the week. Did you guys fight over it, or did you just assume we're co-broskies of the week?
Were we twice?
Well, no, well, yeah, no. See, we didn't know. I think we get it later on as well. But
Yeah.
At the first time, I remember. Yeah, we had to have a little mud wrestle out the back to see who got the crown, and eventually, I think we just split the future ones.
Right. So obviously, as the True Long Island story progresses, there's so many people who submit videos, so many people at Broski of the Week, but yours, it wasn't just a standalone video. It turns into the theme of the show, the theme of this show. So let's start. What made you guys want to just submit like a video? We just trying to be entertaining, or what was it?
I think it was your idea first, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there was kind of two reasons for it. It was like we'd been doing videos for years, like pre-YouTube, even just trying to like have a bit of fun and stuff like that. And then when YouTube came out, we started making dumb YouTube videos. And then, all of a sudden you ask for videos. It seems like a good idea. But I didn't realize the timeline was like this. So me and you were already chatting for the first time I was designing gear for you.
Okay.
That happened like 2 months beforehand. So
I thought it was the other way.
Yeah, so it was March. The DM started in March. So I think it was just the fact that I was able to send you a private message. I was like, here, let's
So it was rigged. If anyone's looking
Wow, that's funny you say that, because I always assumed, well, I mean, it's been a decade. I thought, oh, I know these guys from making the song. I found out you design, stuff, design gear, and then I didn't realize it was the other way around. Wow, other side, jackass, right?
Yeah, so I think you wear the gear like the week after, say, this episode.
Okay.
On Santino Morella on Superstars.
He came with me with the idea, and I wasn't sure. Like, we're not musicians. I don't know if that comes across in our music, but we're not we're not musicians. We just like to do funny videos and stuff. And he could kind of play guitar at the time. I could kind of sing. So we said, yeah, let's do that for fun. And we literally wrote a list of your catchphrases that you were doing at the time. And we're like, how can we make this into a song that would be, a minute, 30 seconds, whatever the first one is?
It was like 2 minutes long and slow and boring. And then you came, like, we had a lot of back and forth. So you'd been like, make that quicker and a bit more interesting.
So I was giving you feedback before you submitted it.
Yeah. So
this is blowing my mind right now.
I was looking at all the dates. What's this? It was May 13th. This one went out.
Yeah, last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing was broadcast. Like, so your first one was sent like 3 weeks before that.
Okay.
Then there's a second one then as well.
It was, if I remember, it was a much slower kind of country music-y kind of feel to it almost.
And we have the video and we have the outtakes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd love to play those.
Yeah, send that.
Luke, Duane, are you ready to get zacked? You serious, bro? I am. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know it, I know it. I'm serious, bro. You know it, you know it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just take care. Spike your hair. Getting Zack is what he speaks. He's more iron than the sheik, and we just want to be the broski of the week. Yeah. Just take care. Spike your hair. He's the guy with the plan who gets much harder than you can, and he's my dad's his #1 fan. He thinks that he's the man. Broski of the week. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious, bro? You know it. You know it. Woo woo woo. You know it. You know it. You know it. Woo woo woo. Take care. Spike your hair.
Of us trying to make it up, so the melody's different, the words are different. We're getting it wrong. We're giving out to each other a little bit.
Yeah, and it's as well. It's the first day of me living in a new house with flatmates I didn't know. And we're on the top floor screaming our heads off. I think there's even in one of the outtakes you can hear people outside cheering us singing to sing one more song, and everything is like.
Can we watch that part back? Oh my god, fuck the floor. Stamping. Fuck the floor, we're rock stars from England. Yes, if you will. If you will. I'm going to turn into this little massive rock star.
On the state of you.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be like this in front of people. He's the man with the plan who gets us out of just much lyrics later. Hit me with a guitar, motherfucker. You know it. You know it. You know it. You know it. Back up singing me now, bitch. So take it. Or something.
Are you ready to get zacked?
I'm ready to get zacked.
We are ready to get zacked.
Apparently.
I'm serious, bro. You know it. You know it. I'm serious.
He's more iron than the chic. So please just let us be Broskies of the week. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and woo woo woo. You know it. You know it. Woo woo woo. So take care. Spike your hair. Start again. That's what ching.
What is that?
Spike your hair.
There's always such a weird.
It's got with the gap. There's no gap. I like gaps.
Luke!
Duane!
Are you ready to get zacked?
You serious, bro?
I am!
Chorus. The chorus. So I don't know when I got the chorus.
We were very just young and dumb, thinking, of course we're going to just go home and
We're going to be famous now.
sing a song.
Well, I mean, the song. I don't want to say the song took off, but it definitely caught on with me, with the boys in the locker room and the fans, because that episode comes out while we're doing a tour in Mexico, right, Mark, or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, like, people are listening and they're watching the show and they're like singing the song. And I know, like, we have something here. I don't know what it is, but I know this is more than just the Broski of the Week submission and that we'll forget about it next week. I know that we got to do something with it. And I'm hoping you have these DMs. Your memory is better than mine. So I guess I said, hey, can we make this a real song, or did you offer it? What happened next?
Well, and so I noticed this is episode 14 that we're talking about right now. And you're in episode 14 of MC, but episode 14 of Z True Long and Story.
It ends the show.
It ends the show like an actual recording. So you said you're not musicians. Could have fooled me, because that actual recording sounds great.
And in a
So-
week, you were able to do that.
Exactly. What happened with that?
We recorded that in my bedroom at the time. I think I just moved back home to live with my mother for the first time in a few years. And we started recording that new version in my bedroom with, I think, a microphone just connected up by USB to the computer. We recorded that, and we recorded our own video for it the exact same day, just using a laptop.
Using the same laptop.
Yeah.
If you look through the video at one point, there's a close up of him wearing sunglasses, and in the reflection, you can see me holding the laptop fully.
I love it.
We used a webcam outdoors for the film this, but about the full version of the song. So it was. We started getting like tweets from the wrestlers retweeting it or retweeting us or something like that, and that kind of attention was cool. And then John Cena followed our joint Twitter that we had at the time, and then right after that, Justin Roberts followed and DM'd saying, "Hey." It was something along the lines of like, the boys in the back want an MP3. Can you rip the MP3?
Right.
And we were just like, well, the MP3 is shocking. It's dreadful. We need to record a song. And then I hadn't got back to him yet. It's like, John Cena wants it for his iPod.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, like this was like the beginning of like everything really starting, and the boys were watching. We're on like an overseas tour. And like people wanted, on the bus, while we're drinking, they wanted to play the song, but we only had like the 30, 40 seconds on the show. So they wanted a full song.
Yeah. So I think, what is it? Thursdays the episode goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spent all day Sunday doing the song, writing the rest of the
Writing the
song,
full version, which I think is 3.5 minutes or
something like that, recording it, and then doing the video, and then putting it out that night.
Wow.
Like,
I think we eventually put it on iTunes and made a little bit of money.
a little bit.
Tiny
That's
bit
cool.
of money.
More money
Yeah.
than you'd make off a song now.
Yeah, definitely.
They still paid people then.
But it was cool. It was like, obviously being lifelong wrestling fans, starting to get tweets and retweets from wrestlers into WWE at the time was really cool about something that we created. And then to have it actually as being the outro on the show was so cool. Really.
It was just perfect because, I would say, take care, spike your hair at the end. So it was only fitting that the logo would pop up, the music would play, and it became the outro and such a signature part of the show. So much so that when we started this show for the trailer, we knew that we needed that song. And I don't want to jump ahead, but we'll get to that where I had to contact you again. Like, hey, like, do you still have like an instrumental or something? Because we needed it. Because it just fits. It's one of those things that, I don't want to say it's iconic, but if you were in that world, in that Z True Long Island Story world, if you were a Broski, part of the Ryder Revolution, then that song is iconic.
What you're saying is that like actually this whole YouTube series is really about us.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, if you want to tell yourselves that, go ahead. Yeah. But so let's touch on the gear for a second. So you were making my gear also. I knew that, but I didn't realize that was first. So how did that start? Were you designing other people's gear and then I DM'd you, or what happened with that?
So I'd always been able to design. I learned it at a very young age, like the skill in it, or like the kind of the technical skill. And it was Brian actually a couple of months earlier. Whatever had happened, he was like changing his look up. He's like, right, I'm changing this. I want a fan to design this. And I seen that tweet and I was like, right, this is cool. I'd love to do that. I always wanted to do like, say, album covers or stuff like for bands that I liked or something. So then I'd never even thought about, hey, somebody has to design wrestling gear. So Brian put out this tweet being like, hey, somebody design my next gear, do whatever you want. And I did that. He picked mine, wore mine. And then just other people started getting in touch then. I think he was recommending and stuff. So Trent ended up getting in touch, Matt Seidel. And then I think around then, that's when you came in. And
yeah, because now that I remember, I think the match that we talked about last week where Brian helps me beat Vladimir Kozlov, he's wearing the gear that you designed.
At this time, yeah. He was.
Yes. So, I mean, you've designed a bunch of my gear, like some that are on figures.
Some that are on Z True Long Island figures.
Oh, there you go.
That is awesome. I had no idea about this.
So, yeah, that's not the accurate one. There's no...
Yeah, no splatter paint. Bill doesn't like splatter paint. But there's other ones you designed too as well. I believe it's like the gear that's like from Survivor Series, like the blue with the statue on the back.
Yeah.
That has no splatter either. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Then there's another one. I think there's 3. I was just looking at these the other day. I don't know which one. It's another basic Mattel one.
That's cool.
But, I
Very
mean-
toyetic then.
You definitely designed like my Mania gear for the next year. The gear I wear when I win the U.S. title.
Yes.
So there's a couple. Again, I hate to use the word iconic, but it's iconic if you're a Zack Ryder fan.
Oh yeah.
Some memorable moments.
Not to mention the big U.S. title defense gear, red, white, and blue USA, and then we worked on it so hard. There was a lot of back and forth, and then obviously that went a different way, and you're like, oh, I don't need this gear anymore.
Oh, I did end up wearing it though, like a year or two later for like some 4th of July battle royal or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, I did.
interesting.
I did wear it. All right, so
We're not
back to
talking
song.
about the USA figure.
No. This was like I was supposed to get certain gear, and then obviously, the run didn't last as long as we thought it would. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bring that bit up.
Yeah. So, all right. So,
What have you? I want to know what you guys have been up to since. Like, did you said that the song made you some money? Have you been doing any other musical things at all? How's the YouTube channel going?
Oh,
We tried.
still touring the song.
We tried to do more stuff, but I think the mistake we made was we thought that we were really funny and not that it was a wrestling theme song that got us any popularity. And we went off and tried to do comedy songs rather than wrestling based songs, and it completely tanked. And we never did anything ever again.
Yeah.
one hit wonders.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, I moved to Dublin the year after, so I think that kind of like that was the end of that. But before I did, we were like, oh well, we've got this Just Take Care song. We need a second song, and we were gonna do this idea that they were all about different, celebrities and stuff. So Just Take Care was about you. So then the next one, all right, who's it gonna be? And we somehow landed on this song about Morgan Freeman.
And we had a song called Elvis Presley Is My Dad.
Yeah.
Awful. There's no such thing as Morgan Freeman was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't exist. That was
He doesn't exist was the joke, apparently. It
Well,
was bad.
that was the only one that we officially released afterwards. There was the big follow-up
Yeah.
single. There was like the Just Take Care one sold thousands. In fairness, Morgan Freeman, and this is when we see the popularity of when it's not about wrestling and doesn't have you and all the other wrestlers promoting it. So we sold thousands of the Just Take Care one. We sold 4 copies of the next single. I bought 2 of them.
Oh man.
All right.
But we did a live show for WrestleMania the year after, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2012.
Where we were asked to come on and perform Just Take Care for a live WrestleMania party in Dublin. And then you did a video for us with the introduction. For
Yes.
And it
Hell
was
yeah.
brilliant. There was big introduction, and it was this whole thing that was being hyped. And then as soon as the introduction video played, we realized that his guitar wasn't plugged in, and we had to stay up on stage for 5 or 6 minutes just going, so guys, who's...
You know it.
Who are you looking forward to winning tonight? Daniel Bryan, yay! It was excellent.
And yeah, so we're in Ireland as well. So WrestleMania is at 1:00 in the morning. So
Yeah.
this is trying to keep a bunch of drunk Irish wrestling fans at midnight entertained for 10
Wow.
minutes while we're going, well, the guitar doesn't work. Lads.
But it went well. The year after we came back and we had written a song, we kind of learned the error of our ways, and we wrote another comedy wrestling song. Wasn't very good either. It was about Mick Foley. I can't even remember the premise fully, but we came up, we performed it and got booed off stage.
Oh my God.
No way.
And the promoter went, maybe just sing Just Take Care. And we went, okay.
We're not doing it. And then
And we did it, and they carried on booing.
Oh no.
They started a "You can't wrestle" chant. They started a "You can't sing" chant. And we were like, thanks, guys.
Oh man, sorry about that.
My God. I
was
am
so-
blown away.
It was brilliant. It was excellent.
It was the equivalent of them pushing us off the stage in a wheelchair.
Oh Jesus. I believe. Yeah, I know you guys are in Ireland, not the U.S., but I feel like if we did like a we do our live major wrestling favorite podcast. If we ever did one in Ireland, or if you guys came here, I guarantee if you guys came out with the guitar and the mics and sang it, the place would go nuts and they'd know all the words. I guarantee it.
Brilliant.
I would love to do that and prove you wrong.
At least I'd be singing.
When we do our European
there was
tour.
rumors, wasn't there? At one point, there was rumors that we were going to be doing it live. There was all these Twitter things. We were getting asked constantly, are you going to be singing this song? Because it was I think Wrestling Inc. reported that we signed a contract over to WWE for the song. And there was all these rumors that there was going to be a re-record of it as your entrance music. And
all right, so let's I guess, the first year was awesome. I think it was great. I think it was awesome for both of us, right? It was you guys wrote this awesome song. I played it. I used it in my show. You guys made a little money. We all had fun. It was great.
We definitely milked our 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, which is fine.
Hell yeah.
But then I have to bring the channel or bring the show over to the WWE YouTube channel. And this is where things get interesting. And I want to know your perspective of it. We're not trying to make this a bitter, negative podcast, but we're going to tell the truth. And last night, full disclosure, I was up all night, Shawn Michaels style, just going through my old emails. Like, I have all these emails interacting with the people in WWE who are in charge of, social media and the digital world and the YouTube channel that was just starting. And there was a long email chain about this damn song. And
we were little assholes and we just wouldn't just give it to him, basically.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't want to. We're not going to get into the whole. I can write a book about this saga, right? But at the end of the day, I knew I had to keep it as authentic as possible. I knew things were going to change. I knew things wouldn't be exactly the same, but I knew that I needed to keep it, authentic. And I knew I needed this song. And it was just butting heads. They didn't understand how important it was to the show. And, I'm not going to read every single email that. I have them here to get some notes. But, I couldn't have done the show without the song. Could I have done it? Yes. But it wouldn't have been the True Long Island Story.
So hold on a second. So they were well, let's just not use the song.
Well, at first I had to get them to sign a release. I had to get Big O, my dad, she had all these people to sign a release. Because now it's not just me, filming a YouTube show and editing it in my apartment. Now it's WWE's involved and there's millions of dollars. I'm not seeing any of it. But
so this is a free release for everybody.
So I want to hear what their version of the story is, because here's an email right here that I sent. So I switched the channel over in the beginning of January 2012. And this is to Rob Bernstein, who was the head of WWE digital at the time. He doesn't work there anymore, not that I know of. So I'm not going to read every single email. And Rob was a great guy, but I said the guys who wrote my closing song said they haven't heard back from WWE about signing whatever is necessary. So I'm telling them, hey, I need this song. And I think were they ignoring you? What was going on?
I remember you got in touch a little bit before this. Obviously, you knew the switch was going to happen, and you were kind of giving me the heads up, being right, they're going to be in touch. I think you even kind of give me a little nudge, being keep of it, as much of it as you can to yourself,
right.
To yourself. Don't let them walk over you, kind of a thing. And
it was happening with me. I didn't want to happen with you.
We appreciated it. They got in touch once, and then I think not for a while.
I think their music division or something contacted us.
Yes. So I have some of those emails as well.
Yeah.
Those back and forth. He is it the guy Neil? Was it?
Yes, Neil. He's still there.
Yeah. So I remember that being quite tense. We had a lawyer involved reading all of the emails.
I think the phrase "we just bought the rights to Metallica's song" came up when we
I bet
when we didn't give them the full thing.
Yeah.
So,
I remember there was a link to going right. Here's
another quote from an email I got back. This is from Rob again. As for the music, the band wanted money for the rights to use their song. Well, why shouldn't they get some money?
I don't think we even asked for money, did we?
I think we must have, yeah.
There was some back and forth, but it sounds like a legal nightmare. I would recommend we create a new song for the show or use your official music. WWE won't give them what they're asking for.
I think we put a number on it, actually. But like, that's
You had an actual advisor talking to you and everything at one point.
Well, why shouldn't you just give it up for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Why
crazy.
should you?
Yeah.
That's BS.
They wanted to own the rights
Outright.
to the song completely. That like, even we wouldn't be allowed to use it again.
That's ridiculous.
It got very intense. Like,
So I wrote this. This is a couple days later. I said, I contacted the guys about the song. Using my official music would be terrible. So, like, what? Imagine if the show just ended. It was like, oh, radio. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Like, because the problem is the majority of the people, like, just thought that I was like taking out my cell phone and talking for 3 minutes. They didn't understand the connection, the charm. They just thought, put whatever song. That's not how it works. That's how things get watered down. That's how things eventually die, you know? And I knew that it was going to be, neutered going over there, but I wanted to try my best to keep it alive.
So how was this resolved in the end?
I think the deal that was made was they were allowed to use it as long as we were advertised.
we were advised,
So that we could then make money off selling it on iTunes effectively if it was being advertised. I think that was it, wasn't it?
and yeah, I think there was a date that they were allowed to use it. Maybe it was like a 2-year period or something.
Because I know at the end I do start adding like the iTunes graphic.
Yeah.
Like download now. Here's another email I have here. Maybe we could create all new music, something that resembles the music you're currently using. Like, no, no.
Wow.
But this eventually somehow got leaked onto Wrestling Inc. and led to us being referred to as the Zack Ryder band and all this kind of stuff. And it was
That there was no leak happened. Like once we signed the contract, we told everybody.
did we? Okay. That's not
Okay, so
pretend.
this is like a week later, almost a week later. This is now January 9th. I said, hey, Rob, is there any way you could put me in contact with whoever deals with the music? Like, enough of this BS, you know? I didn't say that. That's what I'm saying to you guys. I don't think anyone realizes how important this song is to my show, and I want to get it taken care of. Thanks. Like I was not to be firm. I wasn't trying to like put my foot down, but guys, it's a goddamn song. Like, if they want some money, give them the money. Whatever it is, you need to make this work. If you want this show so damn bad, get the theme music for it.
Yeah.
Imagine if like Saved by the Bell like doesn't have the Saved by the Bell music. Is it the same? You know? And not that this is a popular Saved by the Bell, but in my life at this time, I was treating it like it was.
Yeah.
This is like when WCW had to re-record "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You know, Eric Bischoff and Kurt Cobain are just going back and forth in emails. It's not
So here's another one. So this is one that I got saying I'm attached to this, so it's not to me. It says mind reaching out to Zack. We're in countdown mode with a February 1st launch. Okay, so that's when I guess the switch happens. I'm presenting video clips to Vince next week. It's key that Zack not walk from this. At this point, can we make the concession? Like, I was being firm. Like, I need this song. I never threatened to walk. I never threatened that I wouldn't. First of all, like, I didn't want to do this show on this channel. Not that I was forced. Nobody like held a gun to my head. I wasn't forced, right? But if I was going to do it, I needed to make it. I needed to, make sure it was, as I don't want to say true, like Z trolling, but as true to the old show as possible. And like, that's how important this song was. And the fact that over a decade later, we're still talking about it, which is pretty ridiculous in a good way.
It's mad.
Yeah, like it's. I never realized how kind of like popular it was with wrestlers and wrestling fans until so like. I work as a comedian now, and well, before the world shut down, I did. And I did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival a couple of years ago, and I was doing my show was on late night at the same time as Colt Cabana's late show. And I wanted to try and sneak up afterwards, but just the times just we were on at the same time, so it didn't work. But as I go up to try and see if I can catch the end of his show, he's leaving and coming out, and I stop. I'm like, "Oh, hey Cole, what's the crack?" We take a photo, and as he goes to leave, he goes, "What's your name?" I just goes, "Duane." He went, the Zack Ryder song guy. It's like, what? How? No. How do you know this? Come on. And that was like 2-3 years ago only. So
Wow.
long time after this.
I started wrestling shortly after the song was released, and it, I feel, went against me in a lot of ways. Because I'd show up at shows to do ring crew or whatever, and people would be like, "Hey, Zack Ryder song guy." So for the first 2 years of me trying to wrestle, I decided then, no, I'm serious. I'm a legit tough guy. And I'm not. I had to try and be a serious tough guy when I was trying to wrestle because I wanted to shake off the comediness of that song, I think, when I shouldn't have. I think I should have just rolled straight with it and it would have worked completely.
That could have been your gimmick, like Max Caster raps. Like you could do like funny songs on people.
Yeah,
totally would have worked. Joe Hendry did it and it worked, I suppose.
Oh my God. Yeah, that you have to lean in. If you're going to be a wrestler, you have to lean into whatever you really are.
I did in a way. It was a few years later what kind of like locally I kind of was, I suppose, well known in wrestling, not globally, obviously. But here in Cork, in Ireland, I started to do internet videos and stuff like that before the shows and release them. And they were comedy influenced, heavily influenced by the original Z True Long Island story. And that's what started to roll and make me actually get noticed around this country. So it kind of, when I actually leaned into it years later, it definitely worked. So it was cool that way.
That's great.
Well, anything we're missing with this? Any detail we haven't mentioned or anything I forgot about?
Were you guys happy with the result, with the WWE stuff?
We had to re-record it because they needed an instrumental. And I don't know why. I think I'm guessing it's just maybe a formality that any songs they have, they need it as a bed or something. They need the instrumental, but because I don't think the instrumental was ever used. But we re-recorded this like too hard, and it
was bad.
The new song was bad. I think once you get to those episodes, the last 50, it's like real loud, too screechy, and it's like it's
too much echo on the vocals and stuff, and it's
it got kind of weird, and it was like trying too hard kind of a thing. So then that lost some of its fun as well a bit.
Yeah,
maybe that's just to our ears, but
yeah, and I never really noticed that.
Whatever one that we use now, I love. So
that's the one.
Is it still on iTunes? Can people still buy it?
We just put it back when this show started, because as I said, look, the second that we can ride somebody's coattails, we were 100%. It's like
it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify,
and we can make a little fun announcement here, where we've had our 50 minutes of fame. We want our 16 and 17 minutes of fame. We can say now, whenever this is going out, we have a special 10th anniversary EP of Just Take Care.
Wow.
Out on Apple Music and Spotify and everywhere else. Go check it out.
That's incredible. See, I know I got to get that for myself, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Because once we knew we needed this song, like at first, I don't know if you guys knew this. I've said it a couple of times. Like the idea behind this show first was just going to be a 10-year anniversary like YouTube video that I was just going to put up 10 years to the day. And then it was Mark's idea to do like kind of like a weekly podcast, like ripping off other podcasts that do a similar thing where they week by week, they go through and go over the show, like Entourage does something really cool like that. So we're like, okay, let's do that and get like some sort of build for a reunion episode as opposed to just putting it up. Like make people want it instead of just putting it up and hoping they want it. Yeah. I don't even know if they'll want it after this, but the idea is that there'll be some build and some hype. And we started thinking of trailers and stuff. And I had in mind what I wanted to do, where I'd kind of be, walking into like the trailer's up there. I don't know if you saw, where I'm like going through some old stuff, but I wanted the song in the background, but I wanted like the instrumental. So that's when I hit you back up like, hey, do you have this instrumental? Because I could have swore like you put it on iTunes like back in the day, because I definitely had, or at least I had a copy of it back in the day, but I couldn't find it. And I needed it because I wanted like an instrumental with me voicing it over. And then at the last second, when I showed the new logo, hit the Just Take Care, like I have goosebumps right now talking about it. And I know a lot of people, if you look through the comments of that video, said, oh my God, like this brings me back to my childhood. Oh my God, I have goosebumps. And like, that's us. Like we did this, and like without that song, it was just it's just a piece of that puzzle, So I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, for sure.
No, for sure. Like I'd like to be like, oh no, I didn't see it. It's great to hear people enjoy it. Oh, we saw those comments.
Yeah, I retweeted every one of them. Every one of them.
Put them on my wall.
Yeah.
Tell my girlfriend, like, see, I used to be a massive rock star back before you.
Yeah.
There was what's actually, now that you mentioned, there is a couple of other things. So obviously there's the figures that happened. There's a series of Zack Ryder bootleg T-shirts that I think that throughout the couple of series you start to wear. That,
Yes.
That I designed and sent you, and then also the biggest part of all of this that we haven't mentioned once was the spin-off "Just Take Care" Buzz Your Hair song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
For the Chiappetta, right?
Chiappetta one. Yeah.
Long Island Story.
Oh my God. I totally forgot about
I forgot to.
You don't still have a little clip of that we could play, do you?
We do.
We just found it. Yeah.
Oh, please send it over and we'll play that right now. Oh, man, because Chiappetta with the True Long Island Story. Like, come on, guys. There was a spinoff. There was a spinoff to Z True Long Island Story, the True Long Island Story. And that's right. Just Take Care, Buzz Your Hair. Holy shit. I totally forgot about that.
That's great.
I forgot
Oh
about
my
that till
God.
the other day when you said it as well. Like, because we recorded it to sound exactly the same, and just with Buzz Your Hair instead. That's excellent.
I think you asked us for that.
Oh, I 100% did. I remember one week I made Eve the Hosky of the week, and I made you guys record like Hosky of the week.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So you probably had whatever. I don't know how long it took to do that, but I was like, yeah, I probably gave you like 10 hours notice. I probably popped in my head like Wednesday morning. I need this by like tonight because I got to edit it. And then you guys did it. So thank you.
We were 22, 23. We didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Something to do today.
We were in college and didn't want to go to college, so we'll record songs, no problem.
Yeah.
That's
It's
great.
good fun.
Cool.
Well, I mean, guys, thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough because I feel, the old YouTube show, I've said this before, it wouldn't have been possible, wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have clicked on so many cylinders without so many people helping, yourselves included, a huge part. And I don't want to say you guys are the unsung heroes because people did know who you are and you did get some recognition, but like it was, crumbs make crumb cake, right? So like I got, little crumbs from you guys, little crumbs from like Steve Zickos making the logos, from WWE Biggest Fan making, the sign of the week, and to all the fans. Like everybody helped and everyone contributed. And, we proved that we could do it. Now I don't want to say we proved people wrong, but we proved people right. The supporters right. We broke through, and like I say we because I really firmly believe that we all did it together. And thank you for that, because if it was just me, talking to my flip camera without the help of everybody, without the song, without the jingle, it just wouldn't have been the same. The charm wouldn't have been there. So thank you guys.
And here's something else me and Matt talk about all the time. Just the idea that you guys went out of your way to do this without sort of like being asked or wanting anything right away. Me and Matt literally talk about that all the time. I think that's like a mark of sort of a successful person willing to help. And that's what it takes to build something like this show or anything successful, like people helping until there's some sort of like monetary value or some sort of kickback that you can get. So you did it for free. Here it is. And then you end up making some money, and then you end up getting, plugged. And here we are 10 years later. So anyways.
Guys like the guys who were making the logos for or getting the screen captures and stuff, obviously they're the unsung heroes. We knew we were getting our faces on here, but this is all about getting One point that I actually love is, so we said earlier we did that first one and it didn't really fit, and you said a couple of weeks later come back and we do a quick one. What I love is Luke was working as an actor at the time and needed to shave his beard into a goatee that made him look like he would be on a list somewhere. He would be allowed into places.
So I had a weird goatee, really thin goatee, and my hair pushed to the side for I was in a Shakespearean play, pushed over to the side, so I looked really odd in the one that ended up actually getting into the show.
Oh, okay. All right.
I always hated that.
And then a few years ago, then I think you did some W Network show and they played a clip of it. And I love that on the W Network is him looking like, let's be honest, some sort of an offender,
Well,
all right.
on that note, guys, thank you. Thank you so
guys.
much. And you never know. Maybe this show takes off so much that we can afford to fly into the States to do a live podcast with a live performance. If not, it was cool catching up. And 10 years flew, and I really appreciate everything you guys did for the show and for me and for my career. So thank you very much, guys.
Real quick, what's your social and stuff, or anything else to plug?
My one is at I Hate Luke Barry, and I have a podcast as well called the Couple Up Podcast. You can go at Couple Up Podcast as well. I do a podcast with my fiance.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I should plug things. Yeah, at Duane Dugan. You won't know how to spell it, so don't worry about it. Well, yeah, I guess I do a podcast too. I chat to famous comedians about their first ever gig. So check out my first gig podcast everywhere. If you're a wrestling fan, you don't have much interest in it. That's okay.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers.
And we are back. Luke and Duane, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. I don't want to use the word iconic again, but if you're in that Zack Ryder Revolution universe, it's iconic.
Yeah, they're big characters in that. So thanks for popping by. Super funny guys, super nice. They were Broski of the Week last week. So who do we have for Broski of the Week this week?
The Broski of the Week.
Well, the Broski of the Week, all you got to do is find the pinned tweet and quote tweet it. And in that quote tweet, leave your review. Leave the proof that you left a review somewhere. Screenshot it. Post it there with the hashtag Broski of the Week. And you will win a bunch of things. You're going to win the Broski of the Week headband, which is available on mattcardonamerch.com. You will win the 8x10 autographed, available on mattcardonamerch.com. And then also the sticker, which I can't seem to find right now. Because they're only available. Oh, here it is. They're only available to the Broski of the Week. So the Broski of the Week this week is at JPE_major_mark. I was 9 when the True Long Island story first came out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He was just that edge guy I hated to me. But when I found the show, maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, I was hooked. It felt so personal and full of effort. I began to spike my hair and fist pump every day. By the way, in search of Broski foam fist eye emoji. Get this guy a foam fist. By the end of the year, when I woke up on Christmas morning, I found out Santa was a Broski too. I had 3 different ZR shirts, the headbands, glasses, necklaces, DVDs, figures, and everything else you could think of. No gnome. That's unfortunate. After a while, I kind of just fell off of the Broski wagon. Not just you, pal. Don't feel bad. But then in January 2020, I found the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I thought it was so cool that one of my favorites growing up was such a dork like all of us in a good way. Anyways, I'm still buying 2011 Broski merch to this day, which to me is the equivalent of some of y'all buying Hogan Warrior merch. That's pretty cool, actually.
Wow, that's it.
And Broski is still my guy. WWWYKI for life. Well, JPE, you are the Broski of the Week. I'll be sending you all that merch. And it's listen. I'm not saying I'm on Hogan Warrior level at all.
Right.
But it's crazy that these kids like grew up, and even if one thinks of me in that way, the way I think of like Hogan and Warrior, that's wild to me. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I can totally see it. And you know what just blew my mind there? 2011. Christmas of 2011, right? At your height. So many kids probably had full Zack Ryder Christmases that year.
100%. There was so much merch. There was Christmas ornaments, goddammit.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, the tweets this week, little drama.
Uh-oh.
Matt Cardona says on May 17th, I was on MTV last night. Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. I got pinned. What else is new? That was a little tweet. But then you tweeted the next day. For those asking, I have no idea why WWE did not promote my appearance on MTV's Fantasy Factory. Check out MTV.com for a rerun schedule. Crazy.
You in theory, crazy.
Right.
In reality, not.
But it's like...
Okay, so this we talked about a couple weeks ago at Access, WrestleMania Access.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and Tyson Kidd, we took on Rob Dyrdek and Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable match in the sense of like, what is this match?
Yeah, exactly. For his show.
We do the match. Rob Dyrdek, I'm sure I talked about, we're going over. Did we go over it? Where like we're rehearsing his a skateboard ramp. He comes down the ramp right, and then jumps up into a crossbody, ditches the skateboard. I catch him 1, 2, 3, but we're rehearsing it earlier today onto a crash pad.
And he hurts
and I
himself.
take it, I catch him, and he gets like, oh no. And I think he's joking. Bro, first of all, onto a crash pad. Second of all, I caught you. You landed on me. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool guy. Awesome dude. Match was great. But why wouldn't WWE hype that? Why not?
But even if they didn't want to hype you.
Right.
That there's WrestleMania stuff on MTV.
Why wouldn't it's like, okay, when Brian and I were doing the Figure It Out, the WWE show about buying toys on their YouTube channel, they wouldn't post about it. I'm like, listen, guys, I understand this is not, I'm not expecting posts all day, all week. Give me one. Give me one. And then the one they would put out would be the generic link thing where you'd only see some sort of photo if you click the link. People, they're scrolling through, put an image there too and the link.
That's what we do.
That's what they do for things they care about.
Right.
I just didn't understand that. Why not promote everything? It's not, it's not only going to benefit me. It's going to benefit you. Never understood that. Still don't understand that. It is what it is.
And then May 13th, just teasing this show, you say, at Steve Austin BSR, thanks for watching my show. I'll send some cases of Bud Light Lime to the Broken Skull Ranch.
So I guess it's around this time that, not that I have a relationship with Steve Austin, but he starts, I don't know if he tweets me or DMs me or what. Eventually we have a really great talk on the phone. He had awesome advice. We'll get to that later. But the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin is watching the show, it's like glass shattering in my head.
When you say get to it later, you mean later on in this show or this episode?
I think later in the series because it's I don't think the chat that we have is and we have a couple, but I don't think it really fits this episode.
Got it. Okay. So that's the tweets. Your matches, technically, the episode goes up on the 13th, and on Saturday the 14th, you wrestle Percy Watson again in Arena Monterrey in Monterrey, Nuevo Leon, Mexico. We talked about that. You then have Sunday off. You seemingly travel home, and then Monday is Raw at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. So you just go from Mexico to Texas, so not that far.
Yeah, so that Sunday is a travel day.
Yep. So 5/16/11 is when you record the Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov defeat Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder in 5 minutes and 31 seconds. And if you listened last week, we had Brian Kurt Hawkins sent us a little voice note, and one of the things he remembers most about this whole thing was that you guys had a pretty good 2-segment match here on Superstars, to the point where Shawn Michaels chased either you and him or just him down to talk about sort of how good he thought it was.
And now that he mentions that, I do remember that. I do remember where we were in the locker room. And it was a weird time because I was starting this YouTube thing and I thought I was catching on to something. So I didn't I didn't necessarily want to team with Hawkins again, but at the same time, like I said last week, I'll take whatever I can get. I'll make it work.
Sure.
And if I can combine, let's say hypothetically, which they don't, they want to use me and Hawkins as a team again.
Then
if I can combine that with what I'm doing with the show and combine that, I'll do it.
Easy.
Obviously, that's not what happens. We learned that. I'm pretty sure.
The next week.
What's that?
The next week, because Brian says he shows up, thinks that you guys are going to keep doing this, but it's just you versus Santino, and they're like, "Oh no, that was a one-time thing."
Yeah, and for some reason, I don't even mention it. Even I don't plug the Superstars thing on this show, which is weird. I don't know why I don't.
Right. This episode, you seemingly would have mentioned at least that Brian helped you in.
Yeah, I didn't. So I don't recall why.
Yeah.
So maybe I knew it was only going to be a one-time thing. Why even hype it?
Yep.
Maybe I didn't want to hype it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't want to spoil it. I'm just trying to get inside my own head 10 years ago, which I'm sure I'm not going to be able to accurately do.
Yeah.
Maybe I thought like, okay, let's not spoil this that's going down on Superstars because no one's really watching it. Maybe let's save this for a Raw. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point.
Right. All right, so that was it for your matches. And then on Raw, there's still the new Nexus stuff with CM Punk. John Cena beats Jack Swagger in a no-holds-barred match. They're leading to Over the Limit, which is, I guess, this weekend coming up. And then Christian and Randy Orton are still feuding for the title on SmackDown.
Okay.
All right, episode 13. You're back home. I noticed that right away. Obviously, the set. And then the first thing that you talk about, and the big question on here, you kind of seriously saying to the camera that you might be too big for YouTube, but follow on Twitter for updates. Do you have any idea what the hell you meant?
I do remember this. So Joey Styles at this point, I love Joey Styles. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. Love Joey Styles. If I saw Joey today, I'd give him a big hug. Always was a supporter of me. Always super cool. I felt like he was always looking out for me. And at this time, he is, I'm trying to get this right, I checked my emails, the Vice President of Digital Media Content.
Okay.
So if he's not that exact title, like at this particular episode, he is within this year at one point. Okay. That's what he's doing.
Yes.
But this was a little interesting because I remember, and this must have been through a text or it was a verbal, I don't have the emails. He was telling me, like, whatever you do, like, don't move this to WWE.com. Keep it on YouTube. It's got to be on YouTube. It's cool there. It's hit, but I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And then this week at Corpus Christi in the catering, he's telling me, I really think we should move it to WWE.com. And I'm like, just a little weird. Like, we just had a conversation why that wouldn't be the right move.
Right.
Because, in my opinion, I was trying to attract everybody. Wrestling fans, non-wrestling fans, whatever. How many wrestling fans are really going to WWE.com to find...
Right. Well, and also how many non-wrestling fans? Zero.
Well, that's a zero.
Yeah.
That's a zero. So to be on WWE.com... No. And keep in mind, guys, at this time, WWE... does not, it has a YouTube channel. I think at that time it's called like WWE Fan Nation, like youtube.com/WWE Fan Nation or something. It's just clips of SmackDown, Raw, NXT. There's no original content on there like there is today. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they didn't see the appeal in YouTube. Just how like at first they didn't see the appeal in social media and they tried to create their own WWE universe thing that flopped because people want to use real Twitter and Facebook and MySpace or whatever it was. They don't want to go in the WWE universe and create an account, right? They don't want to use Tout, which we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
So fans don't want to go to WWE.com to consume content. They just didn't. I'm sorry, they didn't.
Yeah.
And I kind of.
But also they've always been like a little behind on the website stuff.
Right.
So.
And then I remember something happened. Now this is like I say, I hate looking back. I don't want to regret anything, but this is a time where I wish I would have went to Vince and said like, hey Vince, like I'm doing this YouTube show. This is why it's because obviously something happened where Joey was being told to tell me this. Like Joey didn't like just decide, let's move it. At least I don't think so. I can only assume that there was some pressure from somebody above.
But he only asked you if you would want to. He didn't say we have to.
It wasn't like you have to, but it wasn't do you want to. It was like in between, kind of.
So then what happens with that?
So this is where it gets really weird. Where like this is a situation where I wish I would have went to Vince. I remember like Cena was like, I was talking to Cena about this, and Cena was talking to Vince, and like Cena asked Vince like for me, which is like, why didn't I just do it? Like obviously he was talking about other things and brought it up, which is odd. But I remember Cena came out and said like, yeah, you can do it on your thing. Just don't use videos. Because I think that was the debate. Like, remember last week I said like, don't give me a video. I guess I got in trouble for using videos. And I said, okay, fine. I just won't use videos. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Like ripping it off of their television,
Yeah.
because at first I'm filming their TV, usually like using my flip, and then I'm flat out like stealing it from YouTube or stealing it from someone who stole it.
Right.
So
What if they
long
had
story
said
short, I don't move it to WWE.com. Eventually, I have to move it to WWE, which we kind of talked about with Luke and Duane.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about in full detail in a couple months.
What would you have done if they were like, we love this, we think it's awesome, keep it on your YouTube channel, you can use videos, we'll help you with it, we'll send you clips, we'll send you images.
So I think at this time they do that does kind of start happening where I'm able to ask for certain things.
Oh, okay. But they've now monetized your channel by claiming some of the copyright?
I want to say that starts happening around now, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't even know if there's a way to tell. Is there a way, if you can you log into my account and see when that started going down?
You can see which videos have been claimed.
Well, I think they've all been claimed at this point.
Okay,
but
so
can
then
you see
I
when?
wouldn't be able to tell when. It would just be if they're claimed or not. So
Yeah, and honestly, I don't recall exactly when it started to get monetized. But like we talked about before, my goal wasn't to get ad money. My goal was to get on TV.
100%.
So
all right, I get it. So you're just kind of thinking maybe there's something that's going to happen here, so you'll mention it on the show.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah. All right, then you do a little skit. You're at the beach and you say that there's a lot of fans. There's a lot of John Morrison fans out there, but you have backup. A Jomo fan comes up to you, Big O beats him up, throws him onto the beach, looks into the camera, makes a really weird squeal.
Well, so first, that's my friend Anthony LaRocca, who I do a bonus interview, which check out on Patreon. There's some bonus stuff up there. And also,
that's him. Okay.
All these shows early and ad-free. Big O, I remember, was so late to this shoot. I was so pissed because I only have like a couple days to do these things.
Yes.
So when he's late, like when he takes up, when he takes an extra hour, that's an extra hour out of my day gone. When I'm only home a day and a half, 2.5 days, and I'm editing and filming, it's a lot of time.
Yep.
But yeah, he tosses Anthony like over. That's a far drop over that boardwalk to the sand.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then like later on, we have a clip where like Anthony's still running, like so much time has passed, he's still running away from Big O. You can even see like the footprints that we must have done a couple times. The footprints already in the sand.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why I edited that sound and made Big O like squeak like that. I thought it like instead of being like a violent roar, it's like I thought it was funny. Like you're expecting this big monster to scream and it's like
oh, I thought he was just like flexing weird.
Oh, no. And I think we're going to have the Big O on soon.
I can't wait.
I'm working on it.
All right. Then you do some Ryder signs at Raw. There's a bunch of them this week. All
Ryder
over
Revolution,
the place.
baby, taking over.
Not just up front. They're like way in the back. You got big, giant, like multiple poster signs.
It was so cool seeing these signs and interacting with the fans this way. Like, hey, bring a sign. If it gets on TV, I'll use it on the show. And it just enticed people to bring more signs. And it was such a great fan interaction. Take a shot. Take a swig of this PBR.
Baby.
Great fan interaction segment of this show.
Yeah. So now you go to the Broski of the week. This week it's Sally from the UK, and
she's the Brosket. The Brosket.
I think this might be the best Brosket of the week ever. She was
what
so
a great
funny.
video. This is what Broski of the Week is all about. You make a funny video, creative. She shows that she had brought her sign to like NXT and SmackDown when it was in the UK, and then she kind of photoshops the sign into the royal wedding.
Yes,
very
so
creative,
good. So good. And then at the end, she just starts dancing and fist pumping to some song, and I was just like, "Whoa, this is great!"
That video was awesome. I love when people actually put some effort into it and some editing skills. Not that it needed to be like professionally done, but the effort needed to be professionally done, if that makes sense.
Oh, which is literally what your show is.
Yeah, it's all about, in my opinion, like the content over the like production.
You know what? You got something there. Professional effort. It doesn't have to be professional production, but as long as it's professional effort.
There you go. Professional effort, baby.
That's a good shirt. Okay, and then Scott Stanford with another segment. He must.
You missed a little Easter egg. We had a Peter Venkman, Dolph Ziggler.
Yep. I saw
And
that.
Dolph Ziggler's holding a Yoshitatsu head for some reason. Yeah.
Stanford just must be. I can just see him every flight he takes home. He's writing these segments.
Yeah. So this is the Broskis on Broadway. Oh, also, I've realized, I think this is the first week where I have like nameplates at the bottom for the characters. That's a Steve Zickos.
Nice.
Lower third.
Okay. Cool.
So like the Zack Ryder, I think this is like Long Island IZ, Scott Stanford. I think Big O said his.
Yep.
And so I'm learning how to add that into the show. Just adding, I didn't want it to not be professional content. I just didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started to slowly learn how to do stuff like that, and like Steve Zickos made that, Broski's on Broadway logo, and then I was able to add like the jingle, like I could do all that stuff because it was just like in the iMovie like library, the songs.
Yeah.
So I typically find a song that went with the theme.
Yeah.
And this was funny. The Broski's on Broadway. Full disclosure, like more than half of the songs I didn't even know the real song, so Scott had to explain it to me before so I could sing it in the right like cadence.
It was great.
But like obviously like. When you're a bro all the way from your first woo 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 to your last nine. Like I knew that, I knew that.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was my favorite one for sure.
Scott was awesome with creating stuff like this. I would say maybe a couple stinkers, but a lot of really funny ones. Like the whole Know Your Bro that we do for the Q&A. Like there's a segment that he wrote or whatever. I'm sure we like collaborated on the final project, but his pitch was like, I know your bro, like a game show. And that's in there. I think Hawkins is actually in it, one of the contestants.
Oh, cool.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, so that was great. Enjoyed that. And then the final skit is Stone Cold watches the show and it's somebody in a mask. Is that you in a mask?
That's me.
Wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt. You drinking beers, but it's going in your eyes. That was
first I'm drinking like it's like Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Okay, then you see me watching the YouTube show. You see like the Smoke a Skull title, the foam finger that I have.
Yeah.
And then I'm full broski drinking the Bud Light Limes, got the headband.
Right.
And that was that was my original Austin 316 shirt that I had. I still have that to this day, even though I've gotten rid of all my wrestling shirts. That one I kept because it's like the first ever.
Hell yeah.
I believe I got that. Did I get it 96 or 97? Definitely. I mean, the latest 97. It's like OG.
I had a 97 one, but it was a 2X, so I got rid of it. This that I'm wearing right now is a reprint, but at this point, I think I got this in 2005. So this is like a vintage reprint.
Right. Austin was my guy. I always kind of, as a fan, rooted and supported like the guys who should be a little higher on the card, so to speak, and Austin was one of those guys. Eventually, he breaks through. Is the company, but when I first start rooting for him, it's like that slow build, like even before Brett WrestleMania 13, like before King of the Ring, all that.
Oh, he had that kind of following. Like you're rooting for this guy, but you're not supposed to,
right?
And that's kind of always been the appeal,
right?
Which is also very similar to like your thing. You're a heel. You're not on TV, and rooting for you in this time is like I'm rooting for this guy because I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, and to have Stone Cold Steve Austin, like I said, I don't know if he reached out or tweeted or retweeted, whatever. The fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin watched my show, knows my name, wow, that was really cool. So I wanted to include that in the show.
I wonder if this popped him.
I wonder. There's still a picture that later on I send him an broski. So this must be way later. I say way, a couple months later when they actually make the headbands. I send one to Steve,
the broski,
and he takes a picture like spiking his hair, and I post that every like 316 day every year until the day I die. I'm gonna post that picture. I'm gonna milk that baby for all it's worth.
I love it so much. And then the show closes out with the real song. So we talk about that in depth with the guys. They sort of rush to produce like a real track, and sort of the rest is history. And now you fade out every week with that show, with that song.
This is also, so this is definitely where I first have like the graphics that say Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and that's when I really pause. Like last week I started to pause. This week I really paused. Like me on Facebook. All right, there's the link.
Yeah.
Right. Follow me on Twitter. Right. And then the song plays. And Luke and Duane explained that I made them record it professionally, like right away. Professionally, as in just a little more professional than they did it.
Yeah.
Professional effort, right?
Professional effort.
And then I had Steve Zitkos make that logo, which quickly changes because, okay, so I guess in like 2009, when I'm one-legged tights, Zack Ryder, I get my friend Matt Serra Art, Steel Cage Customs. We know Matt Serra. He's a great artist. And I wanted him to like draw my face and have it on the side of my gear, which I have a figure like that. And it's kind of based off, it's actually like Hawkins, Brian does it now. Like his logo is like based off an Edge pair of gear where it's like a drawing of his face.
Mm-hmm.
He got it from Edge, and Brian, I did it like 10 years earlier. I did it. So,
Right.
So I asked Steve Zitkos, like, hey, can we just take like the hair and the glasses from this and make the logo? And then eventually when I get my own t-shirt, WWE, and I'm still trying to find the original files of the pitches WWE sent me for my t-shirts because me describing it won't do it justice how bad they were. To the point where I said, no, because if this shirt's a flop, then I'm a flop. So keep just making this basic shirt. Unless, however, you make this shirt. This is what I want. I want the headband, the glasses, the hair, and the back says, take care, spike your hair. Eventually that is the shirt.
Yeah.
Comes out, huge seller. And then we'll get into it. I don't want to get too far ahead, but we have to get rid of the take care, spike your hair on the back because Vince thought I was promoting Spike TV, which Impact was airing on Spike TV. So it switched to Are You Serious, Bro?
Okay. My God. All right. All right. Before we finalize the show here, let's hear a little word from our sponsors. And we're back. Okay. Broski, are you serious, bro?
Are You Serious, Bro? Every week.
Are you serious, bro?
Tweet me. Tweet Mark. Tweet whoever. Use the hashtag Are You Serious, Bro? If it pops me, if I read it on air, I'll send you an 8x10. Marky, I sent you a picture to put up here. You can put that in when you edit this. This is from at the Guthrie Roy. Hey, at the Matt Cardona. I know you're busy giving shout outs to those who are in the Gnome Club on MC True Long Story, which, by the way, is anyone else in the Gnome Club? If you are, if you have that Zack Ryder gnome and you're in the Gnome Club, let me know. Anyway, but don't you think it's high time you start recognizing those who are part of the Broski Pendant Fan Club? Hashtag Are You Serious, Bro? And it's this Broski pendant, like this orange ball, like Hardy Boy style necklace with that logo that I just discussed.
Honestly, bro, I thought that was, when you sent me that picture, I thought it was rosary beads.
So, honestly, I think when we went to High Spots, remember we went to High Spots like in the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah.
There was a box of these. So these might be on High Spots right now for like $5. I should probably go to High Spots right now and buy. So I'll leave some for you guys. Go check them out. But what's really cool about this necklace is that they made like a giant one for me to wear to the ring. Like a giant version of it. So it's like huge. It's almost like Sheamus's like Celtic Cross style. So I would like wear that to the ring, and I still have the original one. And then like I think, obviously like at live events, this was the best about having these little like pieces of merch at the live events. They'd sell them eventually, right? Not at this point. They're selling all this stuff, but I'm wearing it all out. I'm advertising. I'm taking a book out of the Cena playbook.
Right.
I'm wearing all the wristbands, the sunglasses, the headbands. So I'd wear the wig out sometimes, the foam fist. And then I would throw it to a kid, and then in theory, oh man, like I wish I would have caught that foam fist. I'll go buy one, you know?
Oh,
and it's funny because so I would wear that wig out there sometimes. There are a couple Topps trading cards where it's me like wearing the wig. They just think it's my real hair.
Oh my God.
Can we pop one on the screen?
If you can find it, sure.
Yeah, I'll find it. Yeah.
Right.
So that's not my real hair. That's me wearing the wig.
Oh my God.
And then eventually they make a Sheamus wig, which doesn't make sense because Sheamus doesn't wear a headband, but whatever. And then they make an Enzo wig, which I guess that counts. But it's such a cool item, like to have like a spiked hair, like just take care, spike your hair. We didn't even say that with Luke and Duane. Like There's a wig.
That's true.
A wig.
That is true.
So cool.
I never got the wig. But
There's a couple versions of the wig too.
So many people have the wig.
I believe there's like 3 wigs with like different headbands, and then there's like variants with like different hair color.
Oh, well, if you guys have the wig still, post in the comments below.
Yes. And I love the comments on the YouTube then and now, because have you been, putting the old show links?
I just started doing it. Yeah.
Okay, good. But if you it's nice to read those comments, those old 10-year-old comments.
Yes.
It's cool to see like the fans starting to come around.
I like when somebody randomly would like post from 3 years ago or something. All right, know your bro. What's the know your bro here?
Well, all you got to do is, if you want to know something based on, for instance, the next week's episode, use the hashtag know your bro. I don't read them. Mark will pick one and surprise me. And if we read it on air, I will send you the 8x10.
All right, this is an interesting question. That kind of crosses over with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. And it's kind of about last week, but I wanted to ask it here. Macho Mandalorian at Macho Mandalorian. Had you ever done motion figure photography before the Rock / Broski fist bumping in episode 12? How easy or hard was it for you to do it back then? Hashtag know your bro.
Never did it before. This one was relatively easy because it's like just move the arm up and down and take pictures.
Yeah.
And then I would just put all of those pictures into iMovie, and I would use like the fast forward tool. So it'd be
Yeah.
There are some people out there who do like full matches and stuff like that. That's nuts.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask, because I didn't know if you ever tried to do something like that.
And like I've discussed on the Major Wrestling podcast, like there's this like infamous giant mega greatest Royal Rumble I had once where I thought I was smart and I'm wearing all black with black gloves and I'm playing like this Royal Rumble thinking like you're not going to see. Doesn't even make sense.
And you were like 25 years old.
No, I was definitely like 17. And I still think I have the tape somewhere. I can't find it though.
That'd be unreal.
Imagine that, the black gloves Royal Rumble.
Well, we've been talking about that, I think, since like episode 3 of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. So
yeah, I haven't found it yet. It might be deleted. Hopefully it's deleted. Actually, hopefully it's not.
All right, this week, characters debuted none, and this episode clocks in at 263,539 views right now, and it was 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And that's it for me for this week. ProWrestlingTees.com/Major WF Pod. I said I'm wearing the Austin 316 throwback shirt. I thought it fit this week. And yeah, ProWrestlingTees.com/The Matt Cardona, or just Matt Cardona.
It's regular Matt Cardona, Mark.
Smart Mark Sterling for me. And what else do we got?
That's really it, guys. So, the Major Wrestling podcast, it's really, really taken off. And this is just a part of the Major Pod Network. There's other shows to check out. And if you sign up to Patreon, patreon.com/Major WF Pod, you get this show early and ad-free. You get the notes, you get some bonus stuff every once in a while, but you really get all of the back catalog to the Major Wrestling podcast and everything we've ever done, which is really, really cool. And
which
we're always trying to
some
add
in-depth interviews and questions from you guys.
And we're always trying to add stuff to it. But if you just want this show early and ad-free for $4.99, you get it.
Yeah, and you get in the Facebook group.
That's right. And it's a really cool community. But I guess that's all I really got, Mark. Okay. Right now, as you're listening to this, I'm sipping a Long Island iced Mai Tai in Hawaii, baby.
All right, cool. We'll take us out.
All right, guys. Still, I know Tommy Fate. I know you're listening. You sent me that link. How to sync those two Facebook pages? I know. I've used the goddamn link. I've done the frequently asked questions. I've Googled it. I need a real human being from Facebook. There's got to be somebody out there who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that's a real human at Facebook. I'm just trying to sync my two fan pages so I can finally say, like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, I guess. Like this video, right?
Hell yeah.
Subscribe to this channel.
Yep.
Go back and watch all the other episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can get your podcast. Leave a review. Just spread the word. It all helps. Buy the merch, mattcardonamerch.com. And And Luke and Duane, they said it best. Just take care. Spike your hair.